2 as a rogue section of IDEC is the one that effected an arrest on Khumalo. IDEC has got good men and women that are working there, under the very same leader, Advocate Johnson, who are responsible for cases that are serious, that emanate from the state capture, amongst others. If IDEC is honest, if Advocate Johnson is honest, he's going to come here before this committee and take an oath and confirm what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is not a lie. I'll prove it. I want to invite these members to get a profile of the arresting officer of General Khumalo and the team, Mr. Padayache. Get his profile. You're going to know that Padayache is an ex-crime intelligence member who has never touched a case docket in his life. But IDEC employed him as the senior investigator responsible for the arrest of Khumalo. He's the one who's a boss in that case. This is a person who's now employed to work in an entity of government that is charged with the responsibility in terms of the Amendment Act of the NPA, that they must deal with serious and complex cases. Well, I don't know whether is it serious and complex case to arrest people for having sat in the panel, like you are sitting here, and you make recommendations to the higher structure that is going to appoint. You facilitate this process at a committee, you are taking it to Parliament. The Parliament will take it further. In the police, a committee that is arrested, it's a committee that Khumalo is part of. One of the charges is that Khumalo manipulated by forming the committee himself. It is before the court, honorable chair members, that Khumalo did not even recommend that panel. It is General Madondo who signed a letter to the National Commissioner to recommend a panel where Khumalo was included as a member of the panel.
So General Mkhwanazi, you are aware, because I put it to you, but you're clearly now aware that is at least the reason given why he was arrested. It's this whole appointment.
That's exactly
process. No, that's the reason that they give. Because I put it to you that Advocate Johnson had told me it had nothing to do with the political killing stars team.
If I were to have an opportunity to sit where you are sitting, SC, and Advocate Johnson is sitting here, I'm given an opportunity to cross-question her. I'll prove it to this house that what she told you, if she did say that, it's a lie. The Khumalo's arrest is a project. It's a project to counter the criminal investigation in Gauteng. This letter of the minister, the close of the task team, it's a project that is aimed at stopping the criminal investigation in Gauteng. So why I'm demonstrating this to you is that here is a group of members from crime intelligence that are arrested for having sat in the panel. The portfolio committee chair and the members in the portfolio committee will tell you what is the process in the SAPS in terms of filling of vacancies. So you ask yourself whether did these ones do something different to that process? The process, if I were to tell the members that the head of HR in the police, on behalf of the National Commission, they will send you a letter. They will say, this post has been advertised. Make recommendation of the panel members that must be in the panel. You submit as an accounting officer the recommendations to the head office HR. Head office HR decide whether your submission and your recommendation they're in agreement with or not. It is that office that approves the panel, not the line function manager. I'm a provincial commission, I don't approve a single panel of such levels of brigadiers. I deal with the ones junior. But allow me to explain, SC and honorable members, that the process is established in organization. So Khumalo and the team, it's a panel that is appointed by the National Commission of the Police. If Khumalo did wrong and the team did wrong in the panel, their recommendations goes to another moderating committee at the national office. at the National Commission's office. There are lieutenant generals that sits there, including head of legal service. They moderate the work that the junior committee will have done, and they agree with it. So if they agree with it, then they give it to the National Commissioner, he appoints. So if IDEC arrests, they're supposed to have arrested all this chain. But because they're not interested with the others, they're interested with these ones. It was a quick win to get to them. IDEC, Honorable Chair and members, arrested the members of crime intelligence literally in the same month. I don't know how many weeks apart. The very same IDEC had a case of over 90 million rand of ESCOM, if I'm not mistaken. One of the members that are charged is a member of parliament in that case, Mr. Mlev. IDEC summoned the people that they wanted to arrest to appear at the police station in the morning. They arrived at the police station in front of cameras wearing suits. They went to the police station. They made them to be charged, gave their fingers. From there, they drove to court. They appeared before the magistrate. The court granted them bail. They paid their bail. The same evening, they were at home with their families for 90 million rand. The same institution IDEC. How is it possible that they are going to wait for Khumalo at the airport for having been part of the panel to appoint someone who's going to earn a salary of R1 million per year? But they wait for that person at the airport and arrest that person. So what Advocate Johnson will come and explain, justify the two that happened under her watch. I will argue that the ones that were charging Brian Leaf and them, honorable members there, they were respecting them, despite the seriousness of the charge of 90 million rand. But the one of Khumalo, they were not respecting them because the project was not this promotion of this girl. The project is stopping that operation in Gauteng. So, in twofold, Chair, stopping the operation in Gauteng and disrupting the reforms that have been introduced at crime intelligence.
So you was to stop the operation in Gauteng. It wasn't designed.
And the reforms at crime intelligence.
The reforms.
Yes.
So you don't have a problem with.
It's coincidentally, Chair, I'm sorry, members, that the very same husband of the very same head of IDEC works in the same crime intelligence. But you can continue.
So I don't hear you saying that the arrest of Khumalo had anything to do with the political killings task team.
Honorable Chair, I've said it before and I'm saying it again. The minister signs this letter on a short notice like this, and there's these discussions that are happening, and then realize, as we're putting these dots together, that the political killings task team was a missed target. They were under impression that it is the political task team that is investigating these cases in Pretoria, in Gauteng. But they were wrong. So they hit the wrong target.
Well, because the political task team, as we know, and you can confirm it, is still in existence and has been budgeted for until, I think, next year, May, March 2026.
That's correct.
So certainly the minister or Minister Mkhwanazi has not succeeded in stopping his work.
Honorable Chair and members, I said earlier, Minister Mkhwanazi, the one that I met when I was with Mr. Nkabinde in his own house, is not the one that drafted this letter. I can bet my man on it. They made him sign something that he didn't know. Unfortunately, he never afforded me an opportunity to warn him about it. Had he done that, he would have realized what he's getting himself into.
Well, we also know, and of course, the National Commissioner will come here and also testify, and has testified in another forum. But we also know that there clearly was no objection to the directive given on the 31st of December. In fact, there appears to have been some acquiescence at the very least, because the directive was given and on the 5th of March, here in Parliament, the project leader of that team makes a presentation and talks about a winding down or winding up, if you call it, of this team. It's repeated in a presentation the next day in front of the minister on the 6th of March. And then again on the 27th, we know from General Masimola, and I can tell you this because that's what he said under oath, there were some disagreements with the minister. But it certainly didn't, because the minister appeared still to insist that it must be immediate. But nevertheless, the plan was a phasing out of this team. So from what we gather, the minister didn't, he certainly never got his way about what this letter said, the immediate disestablishment of the PT, despite Khumalo's arrest.
Yeah, no, that's correct, Honourable Chair. The minister obviously did not get his way around this, but I must indicate that what you're saying is correct. From what I heard when the National Commission appeared before the Madlanga Commission, that and actually before that, I got to hear that there were meetings that had taken place on the 6th of March, and subsequent to that, another meeting later, where they were making these proposals, which I had seen when they were presenting. I was upset, I must say that. Although I could not challenge it, because if it's a National Commission takes a decision, let us agree with this. Who am I? I account to the National Commission. National Commission is a trained police officer. So if it breaks the law, knowing he's breaking the law, it means he has to account for it on his own, at his own platform. But in this case, I was making noise because for me, there was a directive to shut down a unit working in my province, and nobody talks to me about it. So I kept on asking the National Commission, did you authorize this thing? And he said, no, he never did. But as a policeman, I couldn't take his words. I wanted under oath, on paper, in black and white, to say that. He gave that to me, I think on the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, Honourable Chair, members, in a statement under oath, where he said he never authorized Jarasbia to take these dockets to Pretoria. He never authorized this and that and that and that. From there, then I knew that I've got a criminal case going.
That was on the 4th of July.
That was before my press briefing.
Sorry, General?
It was before my press briefing. I already had a National Commissioner's
the 4th of July.
affidavit under oath that says he did not authorize this thing.
And we have that affidavit?
So that is in a criminal case docket that you're talking about today. Because then all these people that played a role in shutting down my investigation, that which I warned about on the 2nd of July, is being investigated now. So I do hope that pretty soon we're going to effect arrest and we're going to be in court.
And what is the charge? Defeating the ends of justice?
That's the main one. There's a collusion to defeat the ends of justice from the evidence that has been uncovered.
And that's based on an affidavit that's in the docket? Yeah,
because I needed to have a point of departure. National Commissioner, tell me, did you authorize this thing, yes or no? He says, I didn't. I said, write it down. There was a delay in him giving that. A delay. Eventually, he said to me, okay, here's it. So when he did that, then I knew that, okay, someone will have to then go to court and explain why this. So we started there with the investigation. Statements of Khumalo, statement of Sentumule, all the people that played the part except CB and them. We did not take statement from them. The team is investigating further. The investigation is ongoing as we speak. I can't talk in details on it.
So who's conducting the investigation? Crime intelligence or?
No, it's the detectives in KZN.
The detectives?
There's a KZN docket. I'm not part of it. I'm a complainant. I gave my statement and I complained, and they started collating all these things and putting these pieces together. As a complainant, obviously, they update me. The DPP gave me an update about 2 weeks ago about the status of the investigation, and I'm quite pleased with how they are moving with the investigation. I guess it's going to be a landmark case that we're going to have in court.
Sounds like it.
It will be.
You were the complainant.
I am a complainant.
And you got the National Commissioner to depose to an affidavit.
He's my witness.
He's your star witness.
Yeah.
I think a bit late. That's why we're just trying to some levity. Sorry, Honourable Chair and Honourable Minister. So, just to rewind to early January, your erstwhile friend, Gabinde, tells you these things. But he's no longer a friend. On the 3rd, he even records your conversation with him. He places things on social media that gets you into trouble. When did you phone the National Commissioner about this directive, or did he phone you?
I did call him immediately after learning of this letter. I called him, he was on leave, and I asked him, I beg your pardon?
On the 2nd of January.
I can't remember exactly the date when I called him, but almost immediately after learning of the letter, I contacted him to ask him about this thing. I mean, he was surprised as well.
Apart from being surprised, did he say he's not going to do anything about it, or what did he say about it?
Yeah, well, he was going to attend to it when he's back from leave, because he was still on leave, so he didn't want to engage on this much.
No, he went on leave. Sorry. The National Commissioner went on leave on the 30th of December 2024, and he returned to office, I think, on the 14th of January 2025. So in that period, there would have been an acting National Commissioner.
That is correct.
Who was that person?
Lieutenant General Musikidi. Lieutenant General Musikidi.
And I take it this is how these things work, that when you're acting in a position, you assume the same authority and powers of the person who's appointed in that position.
Yes. The National Commissioner will appoint a person, and that means he's delegated the responsibility of being a National Commissioner at the time.
Now, Lieutenant General Sabia will say that, and I think it's common cause that there was an email from the Office of the National Commissioner. There was an email which he says directed or instructed him to give effect to the minister's directive. Were you aware of that? Do you know about that?
Honorable Chair, honorable members, on the 6th of July, I addressed the nation about what was happening. Charles Bia was enjoying the holiday at Devon, July in Devon. And on the same day, he was on television where he made a lot of remarks, which I appreciated because he spoke without thinking. So I hope those what he had said today are going to be interrogated when he appears here. Because he started making allegations. That couple of weeks later, the National Commissioner was also on television where he denied that which RSB had said. So it's between them. They shouldn't have closed down the PKTT. I was not going to be bothered. But I was minding my